poppin' y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at another film review. Today we're taking a look at a movie which came out in 2023, because that's what we're doing. We're going through all the movies that I missed out on in 2023. And we're talking about The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I thought this was supposed to be like a sequel to The Hunger Games, like a couple of years after Katniss Everdeen and Peter, and just seeing how the Hunger Games like reimburse themselves into the world. But apparently not. It's a prequel. It's how the Hunger Games started. Well, not particularly started, but evolved. Because it wasn't actually Cornelius Snow's idea. It was the guy from Pixels' idea. And I'm going to be honest, I was quite bored. I prefer Katniss Everdeen and, Peter. I wasn't really a big fan of Cornelius Snow. And his character was just confusing. So let's get into what Google has to say, and then I'll run through the movie real quick. So, from Google, years before he becomes the tyrannical president of Panem, 18-year-old Cornelius Snow remains the last hope for his fading lineage. With the 10th annual Hunger Games fast approaching, the young Snow becomes alarmed when he's assigned to mentor Lucy Gray Bard from District 12, uniting their instincts for showmanship and political savvy. The race against time to likely reveal who's a songbird and who's a snake. Wow, sounds exciting. Anyway, let's get into the actual story. For whatever reason, this is before the Hunger Games, so when Cornelius was 8. Cornelius was 8 because this was like 5 weeks before the first Hunger Games, and for whatever reason, his dad sent him out to the world, this apocalyptic war world, and to go find food. You sent 2 children out into a war zone to find food to bring back for your nan and you. I feel like that is a very dick move and very unparental, like very bad parenting. Anyway, there's then a time skip because the dad dies to, 10 years later, and he is poor and he's naked. We see him naked for like the next 10 minutes. I don't know why he spent so much time on screen being naked. It was very weird. And he is poor, and his cousin makes him a makeshift shirt, and she continues on. Like, he goes to this ceremony where he's supposed to be granted this lump sum of money, and it's a very prestigious school for, like, really rich people, and he's faking being rich, and he has to try and fit in. And he had steak for breakfast, when in fact he skipped out and had nothing because they're too poor. So he's hungry, and they basically get told they have to mentor to win the prize now, to try and make the Hunger Games a little bit more interesting. And instead of, just being the best academically, you have to be good at teaching and preferably win the Hunger Games. So, anyway, everyone gets assigned their new, character, their new pet, their new person from the district, their champion, their fighter. And, gotta be honest, District 12, the one where Katniss Everdeen's from, the coal mines, that's who Cornelius gets. And she bursts into singing. She's the weird kid. She's the freak. She is the underdog. No one really likes her in District 12. And some rich girl paid her daddy to say her name, so she got thrown in because she hates her. Wow, very dickhead move. So Cornelius tries to befriend her, goes to meet her at the train station, accidentally falls into the petting zoo where all of them are put. They're not treated like humans here. No. They're treated like animals, savages, and they're going to be starved for the next 12 days until the Hunger Games starts. That's right, they have 12 days to start. Cornelius ends up being interviewed inside the zoo, because he ended up inside the zoo when he shouldn't have been, and he gets escorted out. He almost gets disqualified for cheating, but then the person who actually makes the Hunger Games like, no, I like your style. We're keeping you. Give me a list of stuff that we should change, and bada bing, bada boom, I'll see it tomorrow. So he goes home, talks to his sister, writes what he's going to do, what the changes should be. He goes and gives it to the lady, and his work partner, his lab partner, sort of tries to take credit for a load of stuff, but eventually gets bit by these snakes in a tank and sent off with the flu. We then have him going back to feed her and sort of try and get her to sing, spend quality time with her, and he basically goes through a load of different hassle with her, trying to feed her and tell her what to do, and they get blown up, and someone gets stabbed, and he tries to help her in the Hunger Games by giving her rat poison to blow in people's faces, and she sings on stage, which gets her a load of votes. And then the Hunger Games actually comes around. So they're all thrown into the Hunger Games. They all fight. They all die. And Cornelius throws a little bit of her, spit, which has been in his pocket, by the way. Look, because these snakes, if they're used to your smell, they won't attack you. So there is this handkerchief, which he wiped on her face prior, which he's kept in his pocket for the past 2 days. So he puts that into the jar of snakes by pretending, to be injured. So goes to see the nurse. And, it's weird. That handkerchief has been in his pocket for 2 days. Her smell is going to be completely wiped off that. That's probably been through the wash with your jacket. There is no way her scent is still going to be on that. But oh well, it works. The snakes kill everyone else but leave her. So he tries to say, hey, guess what? It's just the snakes, and her singing keeps her safe. The singing makes them all calm, which is bullshit. So the guy from Pixels, who cheats, complains at this guy here for cheating and sends him to District 8 to serve out in the next 20 years as a peacekeeper for cheating in the Hunger Games. Eventually, he gets to District 12 because he bribed them to take him to 12, where he spends time with his lovely, lovely girlfriend here. So, he betrays his friend by recording him planning and plotting to escape, and then he continues to help him and say he's going to protect him and protect his girlfriend as well, but ends up not doing either of those by shooting his girlfriend and letting his friend get hung. So he's very flip-floppy and very changey here and just keeps changing his mind. And then he goes back to the capital and gets hired to be a new creator of the Hunger Games to make it more exciting. And he uses rat poison to kill the guy from Pixels. And that's where the movie ends, because Snow lands on top. Right, so this movie is okay to begin with. I thought it was a pretty interesting concept to the start, where they had to sort of take care of their characters, take care of their champions, get to know them. I thought that was really interesting, and I liked how he was cheating. However, the way he was cheating was clever, but also not fully thought through and definitely had plot holes. And I thought that was quite cool. The acting is really good from all around. There's some really good, well-known actors here, and they're all good. They're all great actors. Don't get me wrong. They played these roles very well. And I just feel that the story was very weak after the Hunger Games. When they send him to District 12, he sort of goes through this mental metamorphosis where he isn't sure what's right, what's wrong. He promises his friend that he's going to keep him safe and that he's not going to let anything happen to him. But he also recorded his friend plotting against the Capitol and gave it to the Capitol. But then he also says, no, we're okay, we're good, we're buddies. You can save people here, you should come with me, Make a difference here. Don't make a difference. What the fuck are you doing? I'm going to be dragged down with you. He's very mind-swappy. But then he's also mind-swappy with his girlfriend. He's like, yeah, I love you, I'll do whatever, I'll leave with you. Hey, I can go back to the Capitol? Sure, let's go back to the Capitol. I would never leave you, I love you. I could have gone back to the Capitol, but I stayed with you. Shoots her, goes back to the Capitol. Very confusing. He can't make up his mind. But then when he gets back to the Capitol, he's all smug and rich, and he has all the money, and he's like, you know what, I can look after my cousin, and I can do this, that, and the other, and I'm so fucking cool. I'm going to be making the Hunger Games. Fuck you. You never believed in me. Snow lands on top. Snow. His name is Snow. The amount of Snow puns, the Snow jokes, the Snow sort of inferences and metaphors to do with Snow, there was so fucking many. We get your name is Snow. You don't have to keep mentioning it. You don't have to make a big deal out of your name. You're not a big shot. You're dead. Your dad's dead, and you're poor. You're not a big shot. But he gets all cocky, and he sort of turns into the character we know from the other 4 Hunger Games movies that came out when Katniss 17 was doing them. There is so much wrong with the last bit of the movie and was so confusing. That is what dragged the movie down, in my opinion, just his constant flip-flopping towards the end. It just caused a lot of confusion, and I didn't understand what was wrong, and like what he was trying to do or what he was trying to achieve. He was very calculated and precise and was very clever in cheating, finding ways to win this Hunger Games for the money. But then when he goes to the districts, his mind seems to break and like fall under, where he's just going and doing whatever he wants. However, there was a really nice link in the movie which I liked, where his cousin was saying, don't be like your dad. His eyes were like dead. He's seen people, he killed people, and all he wanted to do was anger. That's all he had behind his eyes. And then at the end of the movie, he asked his cousin, how did he look? And she said, just like your dad. So obviously he had that anger. He had killed people. He had changed throughout the course of this movie, and he's now just like his dad, which his cousin warned him not to be like and be better. But inevitably, he was corrupted by Pan Am, the government, and also corrupted by money, and obviously killing people and going crazy in the districts. And it made him who he is today. And gonna be honest, I'm gonna give this movie a 5. 5 out of 10. I'm happy that I watched it, but I probably won't ever watch it again. So I'll see you all next one. Have a nice day, and goodbye.